There's a particular kind of threshold that arrives after you've already done the hard part. You've carried the weight, you've stayed with something long enough to understand its terrain, and you've learned where the resistance lives, what the work requires of you, and which parts of yourself had to grow in order to meet it. The Six of Gabriel and Nine of Ariel both arrive here with the same recognition. Something you have been building has reached a point of maturity. The work has substance now. The experience is in your hands. The results are starting to speak for themselves. That matters because when we've fought hard for something, we sometimes keep fighting long after the battle is changed. The Knight of Cups, the Hermit, and the Nine of Wands open today's reading with a better question. What are you still guarding that has already served its purpose? The Nine of Wands knows exhaustion. It's the card of someone who has been through enough to understand why the walls went up in the first place. Those walls may have protected your time, your heart, your resources, your people, or the work itself. They were built for a reason. The Hermit asks you to step back far enough to see whether the structure you built for one season still belongs to the next, because wisdom has a way of becoming architecture. Experience teaches us how to survive a particular environment. Ancient healing traditions understood that knowledge gathered through one passage must eventually be integrated before the next passage can begin. The Winter Solstice card carries that same kind of intelligence. Nature does not demand perpetual production. There is a season for gathering the harvest, for taking stock of what has grown, for allowing the old cycle to complete so the next one has room to emerge. That's where today's reading becomes deeply practical. You may be standing at the end of a project, a role, an identity, or a long stretch of effort that has consumed more of you than you realize. The Six of Gabriel says, you have done a wonderful job. Receive that. Measure what worked. Name the experience you earned. Let the result become part of your internal evidence. Then move your eyes toward the next horizon. The King of Gabriel brings the larger vision into focus. This is leadership from altitude. When you have reached the point where your experience allows you to see the entire landscape, your responsibility changes. Your value increasingly lives in discernment, direction, and the ability to recognize where the road is leading. That means the details may belong in other hands. There comes a point in every meaningful endeavor when continuing to personally hold every thread begins to limit the size of what can be woven. The people around you need room to carry responsibility, to make decisions, to develop judgment, and become capable of holding the weight themselves. Genuine concern for others includes allowing them to grow into the work. The Page of Ariel reinforces this beautifully. There is an opportunity here to become a student again, perhaps literally, perhaps through a new discipline, a mentor, a certification, a body of knowledge you've been circling for months, or a project that requires you to develop a skill your previous chapter never demanded. The most experienced people in the room still need places where they're willing to learn. That willingness is often where the next level of mastery begins. And then we come to the Change Your Life card, the sudden revelation, the moment when something shifts and the door you could not see becomes impossible to ignore. Dream time and creation speak to the part of us that already knows before the conscious mind has assembled the evidence. The Knight of Cups brings the invitation. The Hermit takes you inward. The Shaman card carries ancient healing wisdom that understands transformation as a passage rather than a performance. So pay attention today to what keeps returning to you, the idea you keep revisiting, the conversation that stays with you, the opportunity that feels larger than your current map. the thing you already know you would pursue if you trusted your ability to meet what comes next. Nine of Michael asks you to direct your thought toward the outcome you actually want to create. Your mind is a powerful architect. Give it a clear blueprint. Regret, guilt, and worry have a way of pulling attention backward into rooms whose lessons you've already learned. Bring your attention home to the present moment and then place it deliberately on the future you are building. Today's reading carries a message of completion, recognition, reflection, and forward movement. You have earned something from this chapter. Take the time to understand exactly what it is. The knowledge, the relationships, the scars that become discernment, the skills that once felt awkward and now live in your hands, the evidence that can survive a landscape you once believed might break you. Then look up. There's another project waiting, another body of knowledge, another version of the work, another horizon large enough to require everything you have learned so far. Winter eventually turns towards spring. The field rests, the roots gather themselves, and beneath the surface, creation is already preparing for its next form. Honor what you have completed. Carry forward the wisdom. Then give the next chapter the version of you this one was built to create.